In today's show, Bitcoin price flatlines as XRP hits $1 with massive altcoin moves set for 2022. In today's show, I'll be breaking down the latest technical analysis. And as pointed out here, Bitcoin update, Bitcoin bounced 8%, 46K reentry after selling 52,000 and back up to 50K. Throwback support and resistance flip likely from here. Only a breakout above 50,000 would be the significant breakout and long entry midterm in case you missed this bounce. And Calvin, they pop shares. More and more weekly charts are shaping up beautifully on the altcoins. 2022 will be massive, and as the Bitcoin archive shares, bullish divergence between Bitcoin price and illiquid supply ratio. This has led higher prices the last two times. Can we get a third? And as Miles Creative points out, if we do end up filling the wick down to 40,000, all the supply from 45 to 40,000 would be some concentrated rocket fuel. Let's go. Also in today's show, Polygon Matic closing in on price discovery, according to analyst Benjamin Cohen, and shares his timeline. Let's call it $2.79. Matic will get to price discovery mode and not anything below it. I saw some people say we're in price discovery mode here at $2.53, but you have to remember that back in May, before we had a major crash, Matic actually went up a bit higher. Also in today's show, Jack Mallers teaches the IMF about Bitcoin using tortilla chips and peanuts, and quoting him here, Bitcoin is the most impressive monetary network in human history. And he also shares, Bitcoin is the greatest financial tool our species has ever conceived. We can use Bitcoin, the best monetary network in human history, as a tool to make for better payments. I encourage the IMF, United Nations, and G20 to make use of Bitcoin as a monetary network. Also in today's show, here's when Bitcoin will enter the euphoric rally to $200,000, according to crypto analyst Nicholas Merten. Quoting him right here, we can see with the expanding cycle theory, when we're expanded by about a year each time, we have our preceding year, long bear market, and we're adding about 13 to 11 months each cycle. And every cycle, if we were to do that here, if we add an additional 12 months, we meet in the middle between the previous averages. And we can see here that we're on a good roadmap to be able to reach some kind of parabolic target, like $200,000 per BTC later on in 2022. I'll be breaking this down for you. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. As you can see, Bitcoin, Ether, and many of the alts are currently breaking out back in the green. But where's the Bitcoin price likely to go next? Find out all this, plus so much more in today's show. Here at Crypto News Alerts, I drop a brand new episode every single day. The goal is to get to 100,000 subscribers. And as you can see, my subscriber base and the Bitcoin price is currently correlated, so to receive daily premium Crypto News Alerts every single day and help the Bitcoin price get to $100,000 and help me get to 100,000 subs, be sure to smash that subscribe button and ring that bell to turn on all notifications to receive daily premium Crypto News Alerts every single day, just like this. Today's episode is brought to you by the FTX app, formerly known as Blockfolio. I've been using this app literally every single day for the past few years. It's the first thing I do when I wake up in the morning is check my crypto portfolio. I personally love it because it's the easiest and fastest way to buy Bitcoin, Ether, and other top cryptocurrencies with zero fees, truly making this a no-brainer. And they're trusted by over 6 million people worldwide and over 200 plus countries around the world. And they have a special promo they're running right now where you can earn free crypto in every trade over $10. Here's how it works when you use my referral link in the description right down below. Every trade over $10 earns you a chance to get a random free coin, and the more you trade, the more you earn. So what are you waiting for? Go ahead and use my referral link in the description right down below and download the FTX app today. Make some trades, claim your free crypto, and let's start stacking those sats. Shall we? All right, welcome back to another episode of Crypto News Alerts. I'm your host, JV. How's it going, crypto fam? Holla at your boy in the live chat. The Bitcoin stuck rigidly to its tight range on December 23rd as the Bitcoin price action continued to contradict the strong buying activity. Right here, looking at the Bitcoin 1 hour candle chart. Now, data from Cointelegraph Markets Pro and TradingView showed Bitcoin failing to hold 49,000 after hitting 10-day highs. The pair remained stuck in a trading zone only around $4,000 wide, a key factor fueling bets that a short squeeze would hit over the holiday period. Now, against declining volatility, data reinforced conviction amongst investors with the supply being bought up at roughly 3 times the rate of new Bitcoin being mined. Quoting on-chain analysts right here, strong-handed hodlers are absorbing supply at more than triple the rate of new coins being mined each day, according to on-chain analytics firm Glassnode, which they summarized in the latest edition of their weekly newsletter, The Week on Chain. Now, Glassnode additionally noted that at the spot price of 47,000, over 1/4 of the Bitcoin supply was underwater compared to when it was last moved. And as Cointelegraph reported, the likelihood of a squeeze up or down on Bitcoin will likely increase over the new year as decreased activity activity thins out liquidity and allows for volatility to enter more easily. As Ambessa points out here on Crypto Twitter, Bitcoin update, Bitcoin bounced 8%, 46,000 re-entry after selling 52K and back up to 50,000. Throwback and support and resistance flip likely from here. Only a breakout above 50,000 would be the significant breakout and long entry midterm in case you missed this bounce, as you can see right here in this chart. And amongst traders, 50,000 remained the point to watch for resumption for a more bullish stance, with the standout being XRP, which maintained weekly gains of over 18% to return to $1 for the first time since the start of December, while Ethereum was back below $4,000. Right here, you're looking at the XRP one-day candle chart. And for Cointelegraph contributor Mikhail Vande-Pop, signs were flowing in that a New Year's rebound may be buying this week, a solid strategy. As he points out right here on Crypto Twitter, more and more weekly charts are shaping up beautifully on the altcoins. 2022 will be massive. And he also shares here that DeFi is one of the best plays for 2022. And someone asked him, any examples please? And he responded, the entire DeFi space, and gave Chainlink as an example. How many of you are currently bullish on DeFi and Chainlink? Let me know in the comments right down below, and checking out the latest from analyst Miles Creatives. If we do end up filling the wick down to 40,000, all the supply from 45 to 40K would be some concentrated rocket fuel. Let's go BTC. But first, let's take a quick look at the overall crypto market. As you can see, Bitcoin up about 0.25% for the day, trading just above 48,600. We have Ether down 1.5%, trading just under $4,000, while Solana, AVAX, Binance Coin are all correcting in the red, while Polkadot, XRP, Cardano, Dogecoin, and Hex are all pumping and in the green. But all right, now let's break down our next story of the day. Popular crypto analyst is setting the bar even higher for multi-chain scaling solution Polygon/Matic, while the number one crypto Bitcoin limps along. In a new strategy session, Benjamin Cohen tells his 666,000 YouTube subs that Polygon's daily levels dating back to July show a clear uptrend, and that price discovery mode might be right around the corner, even as the leading Ethereum scaling solution reaches new all-time highs. Quoting him here, you can argue that we're in this general uptrend and we're closing in on price discovery mode. It is always interesting because you don't necessarily have all the same types of walls at all these different price points. The analyst even goes on to explain how investors behave differently when crypto assets they own are up and down. Quoting him again here, you could imagine that for people who bought Bitcoin at say 60,000 or 65 or 69,000, if that's where their cost basis is for the entire stack, some of them might just want to get out. They just set their sells there, and if one day it goes to those prices, they're happy to get out. They don't care about making any more profits on it. They'd rather just cut their losses to move on at a potentially lower price or break even. Whereas once you get into price discovery mode, and everyone who's bought that token for the entire history is in profit, as long as if you're buying at spot, you're watching it go up, everyone's in profit. You don't see exactly that same kind of walls. Now, eventually, people do take profits, and you have new back holders who have to wait. Now, Cohen next lays out the exact level he believes that Matic needs to reach in order to enter price discovery mode. Quoting him again here, let's call it $2.79. That's the line in the sand. Matic will get to price discovery mode and not anything below it. I saw some people say that we're in price discovery mode here at $2.53, but you have to remember that back in May, before we had a major crash, Matic actually went up a bit higher, and it's interesting to see it approaching the new all-time highs. But I think what's more interesting is the fact that it's been doing this while Bitcoin has been in a downtrend. That's exceptional to me. And he shares this chart, and the chart guru concludes that his thoughts by highlighting the important contrast between recent Bitcoin highs and Polygon lows. As he shares here, Matic has been in an uptrend despite everything that Bitcoin has gone through over the last 5 weeks. Matic has been continuing to push higher and higher and higher, and rather than putting in lower highs like Bitcoin has been doing, it is instead putting in higher lows. For instance, if Bitcoin were to get a shakeout back to 47,000 or something, it's not like it'd be crazy for Matic to drop back down to the trend line. Maybe you go all the way back to $2 potentially. I'm not saying it's going to go to $2, but we're at $1.80 just a week ago, so let's not pretend it can't happen. If you actually look at the daily closes, you can see it looks a lot nicer. And at the time of this recording, Matic is currently ranked number 14 out of all the cryptos in the world, up almost 6% for the day, trading at $2.57. Now, Matic would also need to rally by an additional 8.5% to reach that price discovery mode at $2.79. And to watch this entire analysis with Benjamin Cohen entitled Polygon Matic Nearing Price Discovery, check the show notes below the video in the description, and checking out Mikhail Vande-Pop's thoughts on Matic. Beautiful flip on Matic done and continuation nice. Also reaching the 1.618 Fibonacci on the USD pair. Some coins are just making new all-time highs. Let's go Matic. how many of you are currently bullish on Polygon/Matic? I know I am, because Ether Layer 2 scaling solutions are much long overdue and needed, especially with the outrageous gas fees. Today's show is brought to you by IQ Protocol, a framework for renting wrapped expirable versions of digital assets, risk-free and collateralless. And once you launch the app, here's what it looks like. Also note that the IQT token is due to launch in Q1 of 2022, and the team is currently working on a few incentive programs, including for those who are staking PRQ tokens on the IQ Protocol. An IQ token airdrop will take place in Q1 of 2022. So what are you waiting for? Go ahead and click the link in the description right down below to check out the IQ Protocol for yourself. And also note this is a paid sponsorship, so please do your own research. And before I break down next story of the day, Jack Mallers tells the IMF Bitcoin is the most impressive monetary network in human history. Facts, as well as here's when Bitcoin will enter the euphoric rally to $200,000 per BTC, according to crypto analyst Nicholas Merten. But first, let's take a quick look at the overall crypto market cap, sitting just above $2.2 trillion with $90 billion in volume in the past 24 hours. Current Bitcoin dominance is 40.5%, with the Ether dominance at 20.7%. And checking out the top gainers within the top 100, we have Near Protocol leading the pack, up almost 34% for the day, trading above $14, followed by Live Peer up almost 20%, trading just under $45, followed by Aave up 16.5%, trading just under $239. Now, which altcoins are you currently most bullish on during this bull run? Let me know in the comments right down below. But all right, now let's break down our next story of the day. Notorious Bitcoin maximalist Jack Mallers spoke to the International Monetary Fund from his bedroom. Now, the Strike CEO gave a presentation titled Bitcoin Disrupting Cross-Border Payments, which is now available for anyone to see. Is it okay for Mallers to speak with that kind of organization? Aren't Bitcoin and the IMF natural enemies? Maybe so, but dialogue between parties is a sign of respect. What did Jack Mallers talk about? He gave a simpler version of his usual explanation of how Strike works, placing Bitcoin as the protagonist of the story. And even though Jack Mallers is talking about the IMF, he starts the presentation with the history of cross-border payments. Mallers talks about Telex and he talks about SWIFT, a system that was created back in the 70s and the world still relies on. The whole process is basically analog. In this day and age, we're all connected digitally, but not financially. Right now, money transfer operators handle the bulk of cross-border payments by retail customers. There are the Western Unions of the world. However, there's a new generation of digital MTOs like TransferWise and PayPal Zoom. And according to Jack Mallers' data, they're already eating Western Union's lunch. However, they're still too expensive and they seem to handle other types of clients as their average transfers are for a much higher amount than those of Western Union. Now, Jack Mallers identifies the problems. What are the issues that cross-border transfers have? Well, he shares speed, limited transparency and dependability, high cost, lack of interoperability, limited coverage, as well as limited accessibility. And according to Jack Mallers, all of these are unacceptable, and the solution to all of those problems is global money. We know where this is going. According to Mallers, this theoretical global money should be uncensorable, unfreezable, and permissionless. It should be borderless, liquid, and digital. Does the IMF really want this kind of money around? Mallers does his best to sell it to them. It should be open, inclusive, cheap, instant, irreversible, trustless, and peer-to-peer. This global money has to be valued everywhere in the world. What would Jack Mallers be possibly talking about? Any guesses? Well, we all know Bitcoin, which is a superior monetary network. And for a minute there, he seems to be bigging Strike and saying that Bitcoin is not that important. But Jack Mallers explains how his company works using tortilla chips as men and raisins as the money, which has to be transferred, and peanuts as Bitcoin. Strike uses the Bitcoin network as rails in which to move money around. Quoting Jack Mallers here, Bitcoin is the greatest financial tool that our species has ever conceived. We can use Bitcoin, the best monetary network in human history, as a tool to make for better payments. I encourage the IMF, United Nations, and G20 to make use of Bitcoin as a monetary network. And since Bitcoin is liquid and anywhere in the world, they can use it to move money across borders. However, here comes the joke. If you're allergic to peanuts, you don't have to touch them. Services don't have to be subject to its volatility. You can use the rails and exchange the Bitcoin for local money as soon as it gets to them. That's how Strike works. In a nutshell, will this talk make any impact? Was it a good move, or will this whole ordeal backfire on Jack Mallers? Did he show his cards to the IMF? Is Strike now vulnerable? What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments right down below. I want to point out that Jack Mallers is one of my favorite influencers in the space, doing big things for the adoption of Bitcoin. If it wasn't for him, El Salvador wouldn't have been able to adopt Bitcoin as the legal tender, because it's all thanks to his Strike technology. And before I break down our final story of the day, here's when Bitcoin will enter the euphoric rally to $200,000 per BTC, according to crypto analyst Nicholas Merten. But first, I want to remind you to smash that show more button right below this video in the description for a detailed analysis of what's going on in the crypto market. This goes for all 1,000 plus videos right here on my channel. Also have some very helpful resources for you to plug into, including my Bitcoin/crypto merch store, which recently went live. All the proceeds go to help supporting and scaling the show. You can help support the show by visiting merch.cryptonewsalerts.net. But all right, now let's break down our final story of the day. Popular crypto analyst Nicholas Merten is plotting a potential price path for Bitcoin that could see the Bitcoin price quadruple in price to $200,000 per BTC. That's right, let's freaking go. That's right, in a new video, the host of the crypto channel Data Dash tells his 488,000 subs that Bitcoin will skyrocket towards $200,000 sometime near the end of 2022. Quoting him here, we can see with the expanding cycle theory, when we're expanding by about a year each time, we have our preceding year, long bear market, and we're adding about 13 to 11 months each in every cycle. And if we do that here, if we add an additional 12 months, we meet in the middle between the previous averages, and we can see here, want a good roadmap to be able to reach some kind of parabolic target like $200,000 per BTC later on in 2022. And according to Merten, Bitcoin's trajectory to $200,000 comes with a catch that many traders might be overlooking. Bitcoin needs to see a little more pain and undergo a further correction near the $30,000 mark. Quoting him here, the idea is we're going to pull back down and retest the $30,000 to $35,000 range, consolidate back upward, retest towards the previous all-time highs, break through and come up towards about maybe $80,000 to $85,000, pull back down, make the range support, and then really have a euphoric rally. I also like to point out I disagree. I feel the bottom is in for the king of all crypto, and I do not feel we're likely to hit $30,000 or $35,000, just throwing it out there. And he continues, we saw that this last few times when we have rallies in the market. When we break through the all-time highs, we should be surging higher big time. If Bitcoin corrects, the analyst predicts, something unprecedented may happen. And according to Merten, there's a possibility that crypto investors may shift into Ethereum rather than cash, sending ETH and other altcoins on significant rallies. As he shares here, we believe that during this correction of Bitcoin, we can see something for the first time in history. For the first time in history, ETH could start to suck in a lot of this valuation liquidity. We could see, rather than just a Bitcoin sell-off back into fiat, a sell-off of Bitcoin for a return for Ethereum. People are swapping from Bitcoin to Ethereum, and we can see that here in the dominance. We can see it in the ETH/BTC ratio. We can see it in the fact that the altcoin dominance is at its highest level since as far back as February and March of 2018. I can't stress that enough. We're in an optimistic time here for the markets. This is not bear market activity. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the crypto analyst. And to watch this entire video, check the show notes below the video in the description. And now for a quick recap of what I covered with you here in today's show. Bitcoin price flatlines as XRP hits $1 with massive altcoin moves set for 2022. Also in today's show, we discussed Polygon/Matic closing in on price discovery, according to analyst Benjamin Cohen, and shares his timeline to hit price discovery mode. Also in today's show, I shared breaking news. Jack Mallers tells the IMF that Bitcoin is the most impressive monetary network in human history. Facts. Also in today's show, we discussed when Bitcoin will enter the euphoric rally to $200,000 per BTC, according to crypto analyst Nicholas Merten. But where do you feel the Bitcoin price is likely to go next? Let me know in the comments right down below. Now for the top 3 comments from yesterday's episode. Mark Rod wrote, "You are my favorite podcast. I do listen to you daily. Great job. Keep it up with the great job." I responded, "Mark, cheers, fam. I greatly appreciate your continued support. Merry Christmas and happy hodlin." And our next featured comment comes from Lloyd, who wrote, "So I think we should hold off buying Bitcoin at around $250,000 if there's going to be an 80% crash. But what goes down should go up again like it has been doing. Just my plan, not financial advice." I responded, "Thanks for sharing your plans, fam. $250,000 Bitcoin. Let's freaking go. Accumulation mode is now." And our third and final feature comment comes from Dino, who wrote, "Thanks, JV. 80% correction. That's a bit savage. Love the show. It's all the news that I need. Cheers, fam. I don't mind dropping 80% personally after climbing hundreds of percent from here. Just means extra accumulation mode to stack sats. Happy hodling. And to be featured on tomorrow's episode, drop me a comment right down below." Well, that's going to conclude today's show. As always, I appreciate you tuning in and journeying along with me inside this incredible crypto matrix. That's right, Bitcoin is the glitch in the matrix. And if you gain value out of today's show, be sure to smash that subscribe button and ring that bell to turn on all notifications to help me get to 100,000 subs. And I look forward to seeing you on tomorrow's episode. Peace.